Hello there, thank you very much for joining me. So today I am going to be doing a live around the area of freedom from addictions. So if you would like to receive the clearings, simply say yes and you will be given them. So first of all, if you don't know me, my name is Laura Mason and I'm really excited for today's clearings. Hello Jasna. Hi Burr. Sorry, I forgot your name there for a moment. Welcome everyone. Okay, so guys, before we get started, I would love for you to share this live with anybody that you feel would benefit. So if you could live stream it, I'd really appreciate it. And we're going to get started. So first of all, I'm curious to know what areas of addictions do you struggle with? And it doesn't even have to be addictions, it can be more addictive behaviors. So if you let me know, I'd really appreciate that. And I'm going to get started in just a moment. Let me know where you're all joining me from. All right, so let's talk a little bit about addictive behaviors. Hi, Mariam, nice to see you. Hi, Andra, welcome. Okay, let's get started. So, addictive behaviors are usually something that we do to alter our state of consciousness. And with addictive behaviors, it can manifest in many different ways. It could manifest with food, it could manifest with alcohol, it could manifest in sexual behaviors, gambling, shopping, compulsive, what's the word I'm looking for? Compulsive behaviors. So it could be obsessive thoughts, it could be cleaning, it could manifest in many different ways. And the behavior isn't as important as what's underlying it, what the cause is. So what I have found in the many years I've been doing this work is there is a direct relationship between experiencing abuse and addictive behaviors. Now, abuse can show up in many ways, so it can be physical abuse. And when someone experiences physical abuse, it's very obvious. It can also be emotional abuse. The thing about emotional abuse is it may not be so obvious. So emotional abuse involves people using your emotions, using your vulnerabilities, using your desire to be loved, to be cared for, to belong against you, to manipulate you, to get you to do what it is they'd like you to do. It can also come in the form of criticism, put downs, that type of behavior. So it's actually more common than you think, because many people, when they hear the word of abuse, they automatically think, well, I haven't experienced any abuse. But I can tell you a lot of people do come to me and they have actually experienced a lot of it. But you know what? Often we grow up with it and it actually becomes our norm. So abuse can also be experiencing a lot of control within the family system or in a relationship. So it can come in many different ways. So when we experience abuse, often what we do is we turn to addictive behaviors as a way to cope. So we use our body, or we use food, we use whatever we can as a way to escape. So it's not done for pleasure. It's done as a way to actually cope and survive. And it's not usually a conscious behavior, it's actually an automatic response. So that's the first thing that I'd like to say about it. So I'm just looking at your comments here. Before was shopping and that created financial issues, and in my family there's emotional and psychological abuse, and physical abuse. Often what can happen is we learn one behavior to cope, and when we give that up, we actually replace it with another behavior. So when we're looking at abuse, it's very tied closely tied in with addictive behaviors, and the patterns of addiction are actually born out of needing to survive, to escape. So often what we'll do is we'll turn to food or alcohol or some kind of behavior when we've got a lot going on emotionally. So it could be we're overwhelmed with emotions, it could be sadness, it could be pain, it could be obsessive thoughts. So these behaviors are a way to temporarily disconnect. They're a way to temporarily receive some kind of relief. So often what we do is we'll use these behaviors to help us calm down or to help us feel better. So for example, people will often use sugar to lift them up when they're feeling low, when they're feeling depressed, when they're feeling helpless, dead inside. And often when people are in a high state of anxiety, what they'll do is they'll use some kind of behavior or stimulant to try and calm them down. So for example, something that can calm you down and ground you might be cigarettes. It could be something like marijuana. It could also be alcohol. It could also be food too. So that was just a little bit of background information. So often another common thing that can occur is when we don't actually have a lot of support, there might be a lot going on for us and we have a tendency to keep it down, keep it in, or try and push it out. And we'll use the substance as a way to do this. So on that note, I'm going to start the clearings. So is it okay to just release all the old emotions, all the old pain, and everything that you're actually storing in your system that can be released now? Can I download a specific frequency that is individual for you that is just going to allow that to release with ease so that you can just let it all go? The other thing is, we learn a lot of behaviors from people in our environment. Our family members, the people around us, they model a lot to us. So if there was addiction in the family, it's very possible that you actually learn to mimic that behavior because you see that actually this is a way to cope. Another common thing that can occur is you actually pick up the addictive behavior of the person or the people in your environment and you actually act that out, you mimic it. So the energy actually isn't even yours because everything is energy. Our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our beliefs is all energy. And, particularly when we're younger, we're very open, particularly to people that we love and care about. So often what we do is we pick up the energy of addiction. So if you had some kind of addiction within your family, often what can occur is you can pick that energy up, you can absorb it, and it plays out in another way. So let's just release any emotions, any addictions, any feelings, any thoughts, any sensations, anything that you actually picked up from people around you that you thought was yours, you actually owned as yours. Let's just separate that so you know the difference between their feelings, their thoughts, their perceptions, their ideas, the addictive energy around them, and all the energies associated with that, and your energy. And let's just clean that out now. So let's show you that you can calm yourself without needing food or alcohol or drugs or any other behavior that you're actually using. So let's just work on your brain now. Let's work on your nervous system so that you can actually do that. And you know how to lift yourself up and you know how to feel positive and you have a positive outlook on life without turning to these behaviors. Let's align you with the higher truth about what these behaviors are doing for you in regards to what you believe or imagine. Sometimes these behaviors, they can feel like your best friend but your worst enemy all rolled into one. So we're just going to realign you with the truth about what they're doing for you. And let's just bring in the knowing that you can actually replace these with healthier behaviors so that you know how to actually calm yourself and lift yourself up without needing to engage in these behaviors. Now, what I'm seeing for some of you, part of this energy is feeling like you don't have anywhere to turn and you don't have any prospects in life. So it's this energy of feeling like you're stuck in this cycle and there's actually no way out. So it feels like at times that addiction is the best way out. But can I show you that there is a way out? And can I realign you with the truth that there are many possibilities available to you, even if you're not aware of them right now? And you know what I'm perceiving too is that some of these feelings are actually coming from situations where there was some form of abuse and you felt like you actually had no choice and you couldn't get out. And back then maybe you couldn't, because if you were little, you couldn't pack your bags and say, I'm leaving. But now it's different. So we're just going to allow your brain to know the difference between that time period and now. And we're going to show you what choices are actually available to you. We're going to light that up in your awareness. And we're just going to download a frequency that's going to clear the path so that you can release the old energy. Now what I'm seeing is some of you are letting that go and some of you are holding on to that. And it's the energy that's actually coming up now is this energy of we're all in this together. And I'm seeing it very much tied into your family system. So I'm seeing a lot of cords, a lot of attachments. And I'm seeing that some of you are actually bonded to your family through traumatic experiences where you have gone through some kind of trauma together. And it feels like by you stepping out of that, you're actually abandoning them, but that's not the truth. So let's align you with the truth. You staying in it with them isn't helping them. It isn't helping you and it isn't helping them. So let's bring in the truth about what it's doing for you in regards to what you believe or imagine. And let's bring in the knowing that actually by you moving forward and choosing something different, you can inspire them if they choose to. You know, within any group dynamic, when you take one person out of the group or add one person into the group, the dynamic will change. So when you step out of these old patterns, it has the capacity to shift the dynamic of the family if they choose it. So they also have a choice. So let's just realign you with that truth that you recognize their choices. Now, there's an energy also coming up of I owe my family. So I'm sensing some of you have actually received support from them in the past when you've been in a pretty low place. So there's this feeling of an obligation attached to that. So can we release that obligation? And you know, the obligation can also come from their feelings that you might have picked up. So can I just change in your mind the difference between the higher truth and their perception? That you can let go of their perception. Okay, so I'm seeing some war energy. So some of you have actually picked up war energy, some energy historically you've actually picked up from the collective. And I'm sensing that you're very, very sensitive. So you actually use the behavior as a way to escape that. So let's just resolve that. And also what I'm seeing is you're trying to heal the land, but actually you have an ability to heal the land, but you're not really fully consciously aware of it. Here's the thing, when you have an ability to heal something, but you're not aware of it or you disconnect from it, what can occur is you can actually absorb all that energy into your body and it gets stuck there. So I'm going to release that and I'm going to light up in your awareness all of your abilities and your capacities to work with the land and work with the earth. And we're just going to clear any obligations, contracts, commitments, oaths or vows to never do that again. And we're going to show you that you can actually work with the land in a really clean way. So that actually you just give the land whatever it needs, but you're actually a channel. So you're a channel between you and divine energy, and actually you're not using your personal energy. So also now I'm seeing some shame coming up for some of you. So, you know, there in society, many societies anyway, there can be a lot of stigma attached with addictive behaviours. So can we release all that stigma? Can we release all the judgment? And actually, you are not your behaviour. And your behavior was a coping mechanism. So can I show you through divine energy the difference between you and your behavior? And can we show you the truth about that and what it was really doing for you, and you can let that go. I'm actually seeing some of you have actually absorbed the addictive energy from being in the womb. So everything that you absorbed whilst in the womb from your mothers in regards to addictive behavior or toxins, let's just release that now. We can form a lot of ideas about life based on our experience with life. And we hold all of these ideas in our subconscious, and they sit in our subconscious like a library. So we have all of these little references for what life is. And a lot of them I can see for a lot of you are very limiting. And part of the addictive behavior is trying to escape life. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in there and we're going to take out all of those ideas and those definitions, those feelings, those perceptions of what life is, those limiting patterns. We're just going to send a frequency through that's going to transform them. And we're just going to bring in the divine truth of what life can be like for you. Life can be enjoyable, it can be an adventure. So we're just going to bring this through on all levels of you. Another thing that can really happen is that we can get pulled into addictive behaviors when we're around friends or family members, and there can be a peer pressure there. So the friends or the family members can be a trigger for the behavior. And what I'm seeing is underlying that there's a feeling, well, I need to do it in order to fit in. So can we just release that? And then if we look at that on a deeper level, you know, it's an innate part of us to actually want to fit in. It's the way we're actually programmed. It's the way our body is programmed. And if we look at it historically, it's actually about survival. The thing is that piece around trying to fit in, it's something that can really limit you. So ideally what I'd love is for you to be able to move beyond that. So if I go in and I look at that below the surface, what I see is these feelings of, if I don't fit in, I'll be not liked, I'll be ostracized, I'll be unwanted. So you have all of these old experiences where this has actually happened, and you have the feeling, the hurt, and the pain. So to avoid more of that, you actually learn behaviors to try to actually fit in so that you feel safe and secure. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear away all of those old negative associations with not fitting in. I'm seeing there's actually some feelings there that if I don't fit in, I'll die. And that is coming from many different places. It's coming from past lives, it's coming from this life. And we're just going to realign you with the truth. We're going to show you that time's finished. We're going to resolve that and show you that you can be alive and thrive and move forward whilst being you. And let's do that. Okay, how are you all doing? Hi, Doris. So overthinking and overanalyzing and cleaning. So the cleaning can be a behavior to actually avoid the overthinking. If you overthink, it's something that's probably quite annoying and irritable and maybe kind of takes you over at times, yet that might have been something that helped you at one point. So how might that behavior have helped you in the past? Overthinking, if it was your friend and it was doing something for you, it was doing something positive, what was it doing for you? How did it help you? And it may have been something that was actually developed a very, very long time ago. Often we'll overthink to try to cope. So it's like we're relying on our mind to try and help us work out what's coming next. So again, it can be a survival strategy. So let's just release that and show you that it helped then, but it's not helping now. And let's update your mind with what it's really doing for you in relation to what you believe or imagine. And let's clear out all the feelings of feeling unsafe, unstable, insecure, and show you that you can feel safe, secure, alive, connected to your body, connected to the earth, without needing to overthink. And let's just go into your brain and let's just change those patterns now. Let's take all those old thoughts, those old feelings out. So when you've had abuse and it's affected your body, and it doesn't even have to have actually physically affected you, it could be in another way. What can happen is you use the substance to try and escape your body. So you can actually view your body as something like your enemy. So can we release that, and can we show you what your body is, and can we just show your body that all of the abuse is finished, it's over, that you're safe, you're alive. Okay, great. Okay, Doris, you're welcome. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the clearing today. If you know anyone who would benefit, please do share this with them. And the other thing I wanted to mention is I do have an upcoming webinar this Sunday, and I'm focusing in on the area of addictive behaviours. That could be food, it's really any problematic behaviour. It could be shopping, it could be technology, it could be drama, it could be getting sucked into family drama, it could really be anything. And we're looking at that, but we're looking at it from the perspective of energy that you've actually absorbed and you're acting out. And it's very, very common. So I'm going to share the link for that in case you'd like to join me. And I also have an upcoming online course around freedom from addictions. I'm going to share the link for that as well. And my website is www.lauramason.co.uk. And thank you very much. So bye bye for now.